If you're watching this right now and you haven't hit the like button, Billy, get on it. Bug your brother. Tell him to do the same. He is hitting 154 on the season.
Brandon Belt.
An on-base percentage of 233, a slug of 231. It is not very pretty. He's got 19 Ks on the season, and most of his hits have been weak ground balls, like 45% have been weak ground balls. But if we're going to put a little bit of positivity on this spin, he is 5-16, 5 for 16 in his last 16 at bats. Since the home opener, he's striking out a lot less. He's carrying a 41.7 hard hit rate. So he's heating up. Listen, Brandon Belt's a 30.
It's his birthday.
It's his birthday today. He's a 35-year-old DH, everybody, who just came off of knee surgery. It was probably a little bit rose-colored glasses of us to believe him when he said he feels the best he has ever felt.
Oh, I definitely blame a lot of my disappointment in Brandon Belt on myself for having just too high expectations coming into the season. I mean, toxic positivity, unreal optimism, whatever it was. I was listening to Blair and Barker yesterday, and they were complaining about our left-handed bats that we have, namely Belt and Biggio. Who do you have more confidence in contributing offensively by the end of the season?
Brandon Belt.
Yeah,
without a doubt. And honestly, this may be an odd take, but when it comes to Brandon Belt, I'm not even that worried if he doesn't work out, because I kind of feel like if Brandon Belt doesn't work out, there is some internal options that may be there and ready and available at that time. The two that come to mind is Spencer Horowitz, friend of the show, actually came on and gave us 30 minutes of his time last season. He's a first baseman, lefty bat, plays a little bit in the outfield, so there is a little bit more versatility when it comes to the positions he can play than Brandon Belt. And if he gets hot and can provide that bench bat, which is basically what they wanted Belt for, or at least a guy who can come in and break up all the righties. You know, there's Addison Barger, who we'll get to a little later in the show here as we check in on some of our top prospects. Addy, same sort of thing, right? A lot of positional versatility. And if he can come in and be hot at the right time, Belt's just $10 million 1 year. I think that what they were trying to do was break up the righties. I still believe in Brandon Belt. I still think that he's just an old man who's just slowly easing into the season, and that by June we won't even be talking about this.
I guess for me, I disagree with you that the upside on Belt to be contributing is different than Cavan Biggio. And I guess it just comes down to like where for Brandon Belt to be a contributor that I'm satisfied with, he's got to be hitting like middle of the order. I don't really care to see Brandon Belt as our number 8 guy.
No.
It feels like if he's hitting 8, it's because he still hasn't found it, right?
No, I'm happy with Belt in the 6 hole. How about you?
If he's productive, sure.
Yes.
But that's where I guess maybe the bar is in my mind lower for Cavan Biggio. But like if Biggio's hitting 8, I could just like help turn the lineup over, right? Like that's all I've ever wanted from Cavan Biggio is to be like a pseudo leadoff man. Like just take your walks, get on base, you know, just be a base runner for Kevin Kiermaier to be helping you. Like it should be Biggio walks, Kiermaier is like a high average guy, maybe move him over, and then we got the top of the order coming up. That's ideal for me. However, Biggio is like the worst for strikeouts right now. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. I mean, he started the year pretty good. I think it was like 3 walks, 1 strikeout. In the last 2 weeks, 9 strikeouts, 0 walks for Cavan Biggio. That's not going to cut it.
No, that's not going to cut it. That's going to relegate him to the bench.
That's going to relegate him to AAA.
Yeah.
Like, that's if Cavan Biggio isn't getting on base, what is he doing?
Great. Great point.
I don't know. So
I
something's
know
up.
this was
Something's up with him. I
this
do think he'll figure it out, but it's maddening
this
right
was one
now.
thing. This was one thing that Shoaib Ali and Ben Schulman brought up on Jay's talk with me yesterday was Cavan Biggio and where do I see him fitting into this lineup, especially with Santiago Espinal and Whit Merrifield already kind of taking up a lot of these ABs. And the truth is I couldn't answer the question. All I could say is this front office obviously loves him. He is a darling amongst all the scouts and the player development people there. They truly do see something in Cavan Biggio. Is it that maybe they're just waiting it out until robot umps are here and he's hitting, he's got a 400 on base percentage? But if he's just striking out and not taking walks, that is, we can have anyone do that. And I would rather it be someone who every once in a while is going to hit one out. Right, like it
Yeah,
might as well be someone with some power, like
sure. I'll give you
if we're
that.
gonna have somebody in that role, it might as well be an Addison Barger who is at least gaining some experience and working on gaining that big league eye, who also could pop it out of the park here and there. I don't know, man. Cavan Biggio is a big question mark, and he's got to start producing because I don't care how much this front office likes him, his rope has got to be getting shorter.
Well, I feel like this is year 3 of making excuses for Cavan
Yeah,
Biggio, and even I'm getting sick of it. I've been a
yeah,
Biggio guy for a while now, a hot
yeah.
minute. Uh,
TikTok, Cavan.
it's not good. If he's not walking is the thing. If he's not getting walks and he's striking out as much as he is, something's off with him. Speaking of things being off with guys, have you? I mean, this is just optics for me, but Santiago Espinal looks stiff. Is it
He
just
does,
me? Like
doesn't
when
he?
I'm watching him running the bases and stuff, he just looks.
He doesn't really look comfortable this season at all.
Yeah, I don't know if he like put on weight, and that could. I don't mean like he's fat or like he,
No, no,
put
no,
on
no.
muscle last season. He looked way bigger than the year before,
Yeah.
but that's not always a benefit. I don't know what it is, but just looking at him running the bases yesterday, and I've thought this a couple times that he just doesn't quite look like the agility isn't there that I'm
Yeah.
used to seeing. I don't know. Espinal, I mean, disappointing season so far. I think he would be the first to admit it, but still better than Cavan Biggio. So
Mm-hmm.